Guys, welcome back to Racer.tv on Hanging Cable South Africa. First Tuesday in weeks, but we are so excited to be back. We weren't anywhere except doing what we need to do by getting content all over the place. We went to go visit Rob Portman, we went to see Donovan Fourie, we went to IMI, we went to go visit Doran Lerero, and we also hung out with John Johnson from the Zwartkops Cup. We've been really in this time off, to be back. Massive week in South African racing. The SASBK boys, Bridgestone Superbikes, and also the ZX10 Masters are returning to the track this weekend at Zwartkops, and we are very excited to have everyone back. Welcome to the show on Hanging Cable South Africa with myself, South Keith Buerter, and Clifford Ogle. Cliffy is going to join us a bit later in the show. We're going to start off with a fun show. We've got Rob Portman from Motor Rider World speaking to us this evening in the transition from Ride Fast to the new venture. We're also catching up with Dean from Rapid Bike at the guys at Firing Up, who does all the flashing, e-flashing and the dyno tuning. We'll speak to him and get Cliffy to get a hold of his brains and technological information, because that's way above my head as a rookie, I'm not going to lie. We're also chatting to Michael White, Mad Mike, returning to the SASBK grid for this weekend, and also a bit of a surprise from one of our abroad riders. But welcome back to the show from myself, Fritz, and Henk at Racer.tv. We're very happy to be back. We missed you guys. We missed our sponsors for having us. Straight away, without further ado, I think we're going to go to the new editor of a new magazine, Motor Rider World, Robert Portman. Welcome to the show, young man. Hi. And Cliffy.
Hi, yes, Cliffy.
Hey, finally.
Hey, hello, Cliffy. More importantly, never mind, Rob. Hi, hello, Cliffy.
Yeah, man. How's it, guys? I was struggling with technology. I've got about 3 phones up on my table. Nothing works. So glad to see all of you guys on the show.
You need to get hold of George Haji from Fibertronics, because he sorted me out properly. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I think he's going to struggle with that. Probably best to take you up on that advice. But Rob, while he's putting Gremlins out, it's nice to have you back on the show. Welcome to Hanging Cable South Africa on Racer.tv. Cap is impeccable. Motor Rider World, Rob, new magazine. Tell us about that. Tell us about what you've been up to. You've been a very busy man.
Yeah, Keith, it's been a hectic ride the last couple of weeks. Decided 2 weeks ago to maybe get into doing my own thing. To my beautiful wife, who's always very supportive, and she's always going to make this step and go on my own. I'm very lucky to have met a lot of people through my journey in South African journalism and South African superbike racing and everything. And yeah, I get to use those resources every day, every month. And yeah, so it was just time to make full use of my skills, the resources I have, the people that I know, and just put it into my own platform. You know, Ride Fast. I was started Ride Fast back in 2011 or 2013. It was called Ride Fast. I started Motorcycling South Africa, MCSA, back in 2009. Glenn Foley bought out Ride in 2016. I just didn't have the money to kind of buy it myself, so he came in, very kindly bought it out, and I was quite happy just to work and be the editor and test bikes and do everything. But it's, 38 years old now. I've got to the point where I want to make that leap and venture out in my own and do my own thing. And Motor Rider World is not just a magazine. It's actually so much more than a magazine. We have a full digital website with a digital mag. We're going to have product reviews. We're going to have training videos at Red Star Raceway to teach you how to, to do the simpler things better and try and get you improving out on track. Then we're going to have the full mag. We're going to have exclusive test rides. I'm testing the Yamaha R1M, the beautiful full carbon fiber bike next week. I'm testing a Ducati Superleggera soon. Then we're doing a nice test ride on an Aprilia and the new Honda CBR1000 RRSP, riding it down to East London, testing it around East London and riding it back. I'm going in 2 weeks' time to test the new Ducati Street Fighter around Uchiniqua Pass. So it's just going to be everything that I've done over the last 10, 15 years, and just something different, not just the run of the mill. I think it's become very generic that everyone, not only for in terms of how we test bikes and that, but also with advertisers. A whole new approach on how to improve the cycle market with advertising in different ways, and that. It's just a fresh new look on things, and just a whole new perspective on journalism in the motorcycle side, and just promoting the world of sport motorcycles in South Africa. For now, I focus more on the sports side because that's kind of where my skills lie. But eventually, we'll open up, get more contributors, get more people from different aspects of motorcycling, the enduro side and all that. But that's not anytime soon. For now, it's everything that you've known and loved that I've brought you over the last 10 years. Talking MotoGP, myself and Don will just move over to the Motor Rider World Facebook page. Don't worry, that's not going anywhere. Tomorrow night we are doing a show on the Motor Rider World Facebook page for 7:30. And then Thursday at 4:45 on the Motor Rider World Facebook page, I've got a 10-minute exclusive chat with factory Red Bull KTM MotoGP rider Paul Espargaro. And I'm trying to line up as many MotoGP riders as we can. My big goal is to try and get an interview with Valentino Rossi. I'm working side by side with Monster Energy South Africa to try and make that happen. And then the likes of Quattararo, Viñales, all of our South African boys overseas, kind of like what you're doing tonight with some of the stars that we've got going. So it's just Motor Rider World's so much more than just a magazine. It is just everything. That's why I did Motor Rider magazine or Motor Rider World magazine. I didn't want to tie it down with a magazine title. It was Motor Rider World. Moto being the MotoGP, the racing side. Rider for every rider. We're going to help you improve on the track. We're going to bring you apps that you need to be looking at to be safe out there, and some other cool little innovative products. And then the world is just everything that's beautiful, and the world of motorcycling, basically.
Are you there? We haven't seen.
Yeah, I'm still
Are
here.
you back at the table?
Yeah, Rob, it's a very exciting prospect, and it's a lot for you to take on. But I like the fact that you're gonna bring in guys that, like you said, with the lessons around Red Star and all that sort of things. So it's not just to a racer; it just appeals to the whole biking lifestyle. And I think that's such a positive in this day and age with the thing been going on, and that I think that's a winner hands down. So yeah, I'm very excited to see Motor World's going to bring. When is that going to be hitting the platform, by the way?
So if you go to the Motor Rider World Facebook page, that was launched on Saturday, you'll see that we've already got a really cool VR46 Monster Energy, kindly sponsored by Monster Energy South Africa, to give away, just to help promote the Facebook. And we're launching the website on the 31st of August. So there's the post. It is an exclusive hamper. You cannot buy that cap, that shirt, that VR46 water bottle, and then a case of VR46 Monster Energy. So go like and share the Motor Rider World Facebook page, and you'll go into the draw to win that. I've got some amazing prizes coming after that. KTM South Africa have given me 2 signed Paul Espargaro race screens off his MotoGP bike from last year. They've given me 2 signed KTM RC16 MotoGP caps, Paul Espargaro. They've given me sunglasses to the value of €30 each. I've got cool Red Bull stickers and key rings, and then I've got so many prizes to help just build the brand and get everyone excited for the launch of the website and the digital mag, which is the 31st of August. So Motor Rider World will go live from the 31st of August.
Awesome stuff, guys. We're very excited, Rob. I think that's such an awesome concept, and I can't thank you enough. We are obviously a part of the venture. We're there every month. You'll find a Hanging Cable and Racer.tv page within the magazine with our content, and we'll be crossing, sharing the hell out of everything. I just love the Valentino Rossi gift hamper, but then when you came with the Paul Espargaro stuff, I saw his MotoGP bike from last year's all up for sale. So they're obviously reappropriating spent funds to just put it on the new bike. I mean, Brad Binder, just very quickly, you've spoken to the man. He's just been phenomenal on that MotoGP KTM, Rob.
Yeah, he has. He's been sensational. Maybe the excitement got a little bit too much for him in the first races, which you can understand. I think he surprised himself by how well he's gone on that bike, and that just hyped him up. And a couple of silly mistakes, which is all of the learning curve in MotoGP. Forget that MotoGP is, it doesn't get higher than that. We have Brad Binder in the highest form of motorcycle racing in the world, competing. So yeah, I'm so proud of him. I'm chatting to him next week on the Moto Rider Facebook page after this weekend's Brno race. And like I said, we can catch up with Paul Espargaro on Thursday, his teammate as well. So I'm just going to try and bring everyone as close as possible to us overseas. Luckily I've got the platform to do it. I've met, like I said, I've got resources. Sebastian Kuhn, who is the press officer of the MotoGP team, has helped me get all this sorted. Rian Neveling, who's the Streets Motorcycles KTM manager overseas, head up me with all these prizes, as has KTM South Africa. So yeah, it's all about just using my resources for now and taking in all the input that I've learned over the years. I've had people, every time I post an onboard video around Red Star, guys message me and say, Rob, that's brilliant. I learned lines. Please do training videos and that. And learn, and that's what I'm taking all the info. I'm a 38-year-old sponge at the moment. I look like it and I feel like it.
Yeah. That's absolutely awesome. Rob, I know you've got an e-race to get into, and we've got some other learning to do. We've actually got a guest teaching us, information. I totally feel you. It's being a sponge and getting in all the information possible. In this sport, you can never stop learning, let's be honest. And if you think you're the master, that's when you're going to see your bum. In a race, and you're going to see the rear end of your tire. Rob, from Motor Rider World, I want to thank you so much from Racer.tv and Hanging Cable South Africa. We support you all the way. We're very honored and proud to be part of this venture. And we can't wait to see you out on track. We'll actually see you at Red Star tomorrow. So stay tuned for updates on both Racer.tv and in Motor Rider World. It will be fantastic. But thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for always having me, and thanks for the work you guys do. You guys take the time out to do this with no major money coming in at all. So yeah, your time is really appreciated. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the show. The show you've got coming up is brilliant. So yeah, carry on doing what you're doing, and thanks again.
Thanks, Rob. Keep up the good work, man.
Jeez, Cliffy, I mean, there's so much information. It's, there's so much more to come. I feel there's just not enough time in this episode. Just quickly, how have you been, and what are you looking for in the show tonight? I know you've guest on the line, and I'm very interested to see who that is.
Yeah, so we've got some awesome guests. We had a little clip that was sent to us from the UK, and I feel like we need to touch on what our international boys are doing overseas, because Moto America, the guys yet again, just showing you how much talent we actually have in this country, and when they go overseas, they really, really shine. So we've got a little clip that I got sent this morning from the UK. I'm excited to share with you guys. We've got Dean from Performance Technique, who's been setting up a couple of national race bikes. So he's going to talk to us about the rapid systems that they've been installing on the likes of Clinton Seller's bike, Dino and and quite a few other guys. So he's going to talk to us about ECU, which is quite pivotal these days. I mean, back in the day when I started, it was all about power commanders and everyone was connecting them under the seats, but gone are those days. So technology has moved on. So we've got the right man for the job to take us through that. And then at the end, we've got a returning star coming back to the national grid, which I'm so excited about, because with the whole COVID thing, and I've been watching these like a hawk, I was a little bit worried to bring it to Seller this weekend. But I think the man we have tonight on the show is the right man for the job. So stay tuned for that, because that's going to be quite an interview. He was testing British at the weekend, so I'm very curious to hear his thoughts and what his plans are for the weekend. It's a very, very exciting show.
Yeah, look, I mean, the return of the SPK and the ZX10 Masters Cup to Zwartkops, it can only be a good week. There's a jam grid with some unusual names on the grid, but it's going to be one hell of a race from top and start to middle and back of the pack. I think there's going to be good racing. Fortunate thing I did see is the lack of entries into it. But I mean, in times like this, just any bikes on a grid is amazing. And I think they've done a great job by putting around both classes. I know there was a lot of action and just showing the camaraderie in the ZX10 group. They got the Acti brothers involved, you know, who made a public announcement that they won't be racing for the rest of the season. And then the guys stuck and put them on the grid. You know, it just shows how badly everyone wants to get to the racetrack. And I think it's going to be some nail-biting action this week, Zwartkops. But without further ado, I think let's go into our first guest, or our second guest, rather. Sorry, Rob, I didn't forget you. You're just part of the furniture. Dean, welcome.
There he is. Hi, Mr. Dean.
Evening, gents. Thanks very much for having me. Very well, thanks, and you. Good to see you again.
Oh, good, man. It's like, you've had a busy week in the build-up to the Nationals. Now I've been hitting you, trying to get a time and place to sit down with you, but here we are. And yeah, I just want to kick off. I mean, I was saying to Keith earlier, back in the day when I was a few years ago, about the whole power commander, but everything has changed now, and performance technique has really come on board in the National Series. But tell us, I mean, you've been working with Clinton Seller and Dino Nyotso and now Blaze Baker quite a bit. Take us through what is this Rapid system that you're using, Rapid SA, and how does it work? And setting up a national spec bike, what goes that sort of thing?
So just a bit of background. The Rapid Bike line of products is a range from Dimsport, from it. And the range has partnered with the Crop, so they're the technical partner, which makes things, it's just a massive leap forward. Big improvement that the kits have is the real-time sort of tuning, how fast I can react, how fast I can respond to the auto-tuning, the fueling requirements, all of those sort of things. You know, it's not just really a plug-in, you know, it doesn't just plug into one sensor and fool the ECU into, you know, calibration or anything like that. It plugs into all the injectors, it goes into crank sensors, gear sensors, TPS. You know, it really goes that extra step. And the way everyone can benefit from it is, as we said, how fast it can process and how fast it can tune the bike. And that is the beauty. So, you know, there's no delays or anything like that. It goes into the CAN line and everything gets done sort of instantaneously, which is the huge of the system.
100%. I mean, from what I've heard and when I've spoken to like Craig Langton, that in the early days when it first came out and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even like when your bike arrives from overseas and that, it's not really set on emissions and all those settings it's limited and it plays a huge problem. So what I found is fuel as well. I mean, our 95 fuel, the ideal fuel to be run that's set to run overseas. So even when you plug it in like that, you guys can reset basically everything run in South African conditions. Am I right in saying that?
That's exactly it. So the bike also, you know, with the Rapid Bike kits, it has auto adaptivity. So it sort of detects, you know, with the use of NOx, you know, NOx, those kind of things, it can pick up where the bike is. And, you know, as you were saying, with our sort of 95, it's not 95 as we know. And these guys in Europe and the States, they're running on 9800 out the pump. And it's sort of a true octane rating. The other big thing is the Euro 4 and now Euro 5 emissions. And that is a big stumbling block for a lot of the tuners out there, or a lot of the riders out there looking for a bit more. But the Rapid Bike can take advantage of that and really, you know, hit the goalpost. So we know that the Euro 4 and Euro 5 emitting, they really sort of limit the bike through the mid-range and on some right the way through to the limit. And we can get around that now with the Rapid Bike kits.
100%. So, I mean, going now into a race weekend, obviously you've got Clinton Seller who's flying the flag for the Rapid modules and that. And then Blake is also now come on board. What sort of goes into now prepping a bike for a race weekend? You get the bike a week before and reset everything? Are you at the track with the guys to go through adjustments? How does it work, and where do you fit into the whole scheme when it comes to national superbike racing?
You know, the beauty with these kits is that they react so quickly that we know that no 2 weekends are going to be the same, and down to weather conditions, fuel, basic little things like that. But generally we get the bike set up, you know, a bit in advance. We've had around 2 so we've got a very good idea of where we need to be and where we are. Going into the week, we'll set up make a few little minor adjustments, and then use Friday, use free practice, use the qualifying, and use that to sort of build a map. But the beauty of the rapid bike, it is that good that a lot of it can get taken care of by itself, and that just makes life so much easier at the track when we're sitting there and there's other things to worry about, tire pressures, suspension, and all of that. We know that the engine side, the engine calibration is taken care of.
100%. Keith, what do you think about all this, man? I mean,
look, Dean, you need to also understand where I come from. I came straight out of the 80s and landed in 2019 and started racing there as a 35-year-old with machinery that's like half my age. So getting to add all the ECUs, mapping, all of this kind of calibration, and seeing how people have been doing it over the last year and a bit, overwhelming, but so fascinating. I mean, it's mad scientists. That's all it is. It's the math, the understanding, and just getting all of that calibrated in a perfect weapon for the race week.
That's it.
Coming from a 600 CVR, that's a 2006 model, and getting onto the new RSV4 Aprilia, like, you need to understand the difference and like, I can't even compare it to the super bikes from 3 years ago, but there's all the new bikes,
Absolutely.
the Gen 4 or everything from 2019 onwards, and the rider adjustments, and then taking it to a track and getting you guys to do higher levels of intervention with these systems is just spectacular. It's nothing other than mad scientists playing with the fastest toys in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what's also quite exciting, Keith, is that like a 2006, like yourself, whatever, rapid modules and that will fit on your bike. You even have the luxury of having like an auto blipper. So I mean, that's the awesome thing with this, that the technology doesn't just work on modern super bikes. It works from adventure bikes across the range. So you could even have shooting modules and stuff on an older 06 or whatever CBR Honda. So yeah, it's quite exciting that the technology is not just limited to the modern day super bike. It's right down. So whatever you've got, I mean, there's always a possibility that you can go racing with it,
That's so awesome. But it's also, I love
Mm.
that it's designed like that, where you can actually take it back in history and apply it to a bike that never had that. In making a championship winner 15 years ago, for instance, knowing that they had a specific bike and a specific technology set to play with, and you redo it in modern times and you give the bike back to them and compare the time. It would be quite fascinating, I feel. Cliff, would you want to do that maybe? Maybe we should do that.
Look, it sounds like a fun project, and it's something we should consider, because it's funny how that we can go with old machinery and get the latest stuff or technology on bikes, and I mean, you probably right at the sharp end. Yeah, it's very interesting stuff. But then we cut you off there. You were going to say something.
Yeah, so it's not really just the older superbikes. I mean, you're talking about 06 model, whether it's R6s or R1s, whatever it might be. And I mean, you can take a bike like that and you can add on modules onto the Rapid Bike kits, or it's made by Rapid Bike as well, but you can add features like to that, launch control, engineering, auto blip kits. Auto blip, it's not available on all models, but quick shifters, pit lane limiters, it's just like what you can add. And I mean, we've got clients, to give you an example, a KTM Duke 390, where we added a module with a quick shifter. So you can take really anything. It's not limited to bikes and racing bikes. I mean, we've got guys who just want a bit more out of their normal road bike or their daily commute. So the range that we can cater for is brilliant, and it's plug and play. So once we plug it in, set it up, it's amazing that it is that easy.
That's awesome.
I mean,
I think it's absolutely
amazing.
Dean, did you move shop as well?
I'm still based in Kyalami. We're still there with the dyno facility, the Dimsport dyno facility. So we're just waiting to clear up a few things, and then we'll probably be moving to the new premises as well, which will be great. Looking forward to that.
Okay, cool. So our viewers out there watching, I just want to say thank you. But Dean, where can they come and find your new premises, just so that everyone knows where you guys are at?
So the new Fire It Up premises, it's 1 Halifax Street in Bryanston. Come through, have a look at the showroom. It's a fantastic facility. I'm sure you guys have seen pictures. I'm not sure if you've been there yet, but it really is a world-class facility. But for now, have a look at our Facebook, Rapid SA and Fire It Up. Have a look there, and you know, come through and have a look at our Dana facility. We're still based in Karlami, so all of the tuning is still taking place there for now, as Cliff knows. But yeah, please give us a call if you have any queries.
Awesome stuff. From my side, I'm very thankful for having you on the show so much. It was very insightful, and out there that never knew about these products, I think you need to go check it out and go see. You might revive one of your old donkey to a new feel. Thank you so much for joining us, Dean. I really appreciate it. Cliffy?
Yeah. Dean, thanks very much, man. I mean, I know about the rapid systems, and I'm so glad that you brought it out to the guys. And I think if there's anyone out there thinking, I want to 2017 Honda, whatever, and you want to go racing in that, get in touch with Dean and the guys. They'll definitely hook you up. And I mean, even if it's just a basic ECU flash, it will make the world of difference. So yeah, Dean, thank you so much for chatting to us. And we look forward to you guys standing on the top step of the podium this weekend.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for your time, guys. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend at the track. But yeah, very limited time. I mean, as you just touched on the ECU flashing, we could go on for hours about it. So that's just another whole segment that we can jump into. But thanks very much. Appreciate it.
We'll come and visit you and do a recording. I think that's a good idea.
Awesome. I think that'll be a great one. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
When they move, we'll be there.
That's it.
Absolutely. Cheers, Ian. Thanks so much.
Cheers, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
I'm going to, Cliffy, I kept seeing them in the diner, and I wanted to just ask our technical director, man in charge of the show, Fred, is there a possibility that you can play one of those clips with a bit volume for our audience out there, just to see what the sound is these bikes are making?
Yeah.
Music to our ears, Cliffy. That's so cool. I'm honestly blown away by the information that man shared tonight. That's just incredible.
And also they bring flames to the party, which I love as well. I love a good flame out of the exhaust. So that really made my evening. But I think
of which, Daredevil, mad mumming to SASPK. He's a bit of a flame. Is he around?
Yes.
Mike. Yeah, calling Mike. There he goes.
There we go.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Handsome, it's good to see you, man. And I'm so excited to hear that joining the SASPK grid this weekend, man. Tell us, how this time we chatted, you were still looking for a sponsorship, and you said you had a few races here and there, but here you are.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a while. I think the last time I raced the National was 2018 when I won the championship. And after that, I went overseas, did a few things that side, and always wanted to come back and miss the guys this side, but just never had the chance. And obviously sponsors that side to this side are different. So, but yeah, got lucky this weekend. A few guys helped out. Huge thanks to them. And yeah, we're back on the grid.
So, I mean, when we chatted in the week and that, or last week, you said that you just still need to get some time on the Bridgestone tires, and you basically only got a shakedown this last weekend. How did the testing and that go, and what's your feeling on those Bridgestone weekend?
Yeah, well, obviously most of the racing we've done on Pirelli tires and stuff. So I wouldn't say I've never done any other tires. It was all we were used to, and that's what everyone used. So we decided, you know what, if we're going to do the race, let's go out, let's go try the Bridgestones, make sure we get to the race fully prepared instead of being on the back foot, So we went on Saturday. We went through just to try to get some laps in and get a shakedown. Also, not riding since March. Just try to get the cobwebs and stuff out. And yeah, I must say it took me 1 or 2 sessions to get back into it. I felt like a complete rookie getting into it. But yeah, I put the Bridgestones on, did a few sessions, and I must say every session we went out, it got better and better. Obviously, we had to change a few on setup and stuff like that, because going from the one tire to the other felt terrible the first session, I won't lie.
Okay.
And I got a bit of a fright. But luckily with the old man and all his knowledge, we seem to have got a decent setup, and also riding with 1 or 2 of my friends out there, got to learn 1 or 2 of the tricks quite quickly. So I think we should be sorted this weekend. We're going tomorrow just to do 1 or 2 more laps and see what's happening. And yeah, come with a full game face.
Awesome. Magic Mike, it's honestly one of the best surprises I think that 2020 has bestowed on us as a racing community, fans of Magic Mike with the one arm and leg up in there. I was just having a chuckle when you said, I felt like a rookie coming back, and then we see pictures like that. Exactly. And I'm like, you can't put those words in the same category as yourself. It's just but I do want to ask on a serious note, there's quite a big pack of Bridgestone Superbikes, and now the SAB, the Nationals on this grid. I mean, we unfortunately learned that for him, but unfortunately, Lance Isaacs is not participating in the season this year. He might be back next year. Who knows? And, we need to be tolerant with everyone and doing their decisions. But do you think you're going to be back front there with Sella? Or do you feel that drastic?
No, to be honest with you, no one goes to come second, you know what I mean? So that's how we went out the weekend. We made sure we went to go do a few laps, made sure we had our game face properly on. Obviously, I've known Stella quite well. I mean, I've raced against him for the last 6 or 7 years. So I know he's coming with his game face. I know McFadden's going to be there strong. I know there's quite a few wild cards also coming that are going to be quite quick. So to be honest with you, I think we'll be there. I don't want to say that we'll be at the top or where exactly we'll be, but I can guarantee that I'm going to give it my all. And we're either going to be there or we're going to make a plan to be there. So I think it's going to be a good race, and Zwartkops always seems to bring some surprises.
Yes. Cliff, I don't know about you, but during that kind of thing gives me goosebumps. I feel there's this is definitely going to be outright the biggest race of the year. I know it's round 3, but it's definitely going to bring a whole new dynamic. People are hungry. There's old returning like Magic Mike. We've got Luca, Damien Pericati on the grid. Garrick's going to be there. I saw even Mark van den Berg is going to be there as well. He's flying from Cape Town to come to the grid. It's going to be jam-packed elbow to elbow racing.
I also saw, just for interest sake as well, we've got Catties in the mix as well. We've got Brian Bonsu winning on 1. And then if I read correctly, and anything is possible because my eyesight is failing me, I'm pretty sure I saw Nicole van Aswegen on a 12 in Panigale. So that also brings a whole different dynamic. But I love the way that Mike has tackled this whole thing here with the confidence in saying that we didn't come second. I love fighting talk because I've been watching you for years. That it's already sitting here now and you're saying that you're ready to go racing makes me very excited for the weekend. But now, because obviously some of the guys have already got 2 rounds experience, and I mean the tires is one thing. We've also a lot of the guys haven't ridden up. If I look at the Friday schedule going out, it's basically 3 sessions, but they all pretty much count towards qualifying. How do you structure your weekend? What are you expecting from session 1, session 2, and session 3? How do you structure it? Because you sort of coming in into a bit of an unknown where the other guys have a bit of a jump on. If you can just give us a bit of insight on how you structure your weekend, I think a lot of the guys will appreciate that sort of or what your approach is.
Yeah, for sure. Coming into it, obviously everyone's done their practice. Everyone's done, like you say, 1 or 2 races, so they know exactly what to expect. And when I still raced, it was Friday was practice, and we did qualifying first thing in the morning on Saturday, and then the 2 races. So, to be honest, this format sort of helps me a bit because I've always been one that I go better with the older tire instead of with the brand new tire. So I could never do the 1 lap hot pace, whereas I could always do 1 or 2 faster laps towards the end of the day. And yeah, that side of it I'm really excited for, but it is quite different because now we can't really use the day to practice. We have to go out and try to set fast lap times the whole day. At the same time, trying to set up a bike for the next day's race. So it is a bit different. We have to look at things differently in terms of, do we go out full out balls to the walls the first session and see what we do, or do we wait and see if we can make the tire last till the end of the day and then try to set a hot lap? So I'm honestly not sure what to do yet. Me and the old man have been speaking, trying to see which way we should go. To be honest with you, I can probably guarantee you from now that my last session is going to be my quickest one. Just because I know the way I am, and this, I'm never been good on Fridays. So as long as I'm in the first 2 rows, I'm happy, because then I know I can get away with the front guys. But yeah, I'm going into unknown, yeah, and just like I always say, I just wing it, and hopefully the magic shows up sometime.
The fastest winger that I've seen in my entire life. I need to look, but I need to also quickly intervene there. Like, I saw Nassif Wadwala is also on the grid. He's coming with another very fast ex-national speedbike R1 onto that grid. Like, he's also something to look out for, I think. I don't know, Mike, have you raced against him?
There's a few, I can't say, I think we've done a few races here and there, but the thing is, these days, there's so many wild cards coming in that everyone's going to be quick at this stage. And also with the whole COVID thing, we saw on Saturday that guys that haven't been quick have gone faster, and guys that have usually gone fast have slowed down a bit, or not slowed down a bit, but are taking time to get back into it and stuff. So I think this weekend's going to be a huge wild card race. It's completely in the air, whereas like guys like Seller, the McFadden, stuff like that, they'll be fast no matter what. So, well, I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be good to see a lot of people out there. I know the Zwartkops they've been trying everything to get guys there, and it's working. The guys are coming back. Everyone's excited to race. So, I think everyone's hungry to get out there and just do something.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I think with it being a short season and not that many rounds left, because I mean, from what I've seen and rumor that there's probably about 4 rounds left for the year, so I think everyone's got to let it all hang out this week, because you can't afford to say, okay, it's fine, I'll sit back and just gather some points, and that you've basically got to go out and look to finish in the top 3. You're going to fall behind. So I think there's going to be a lot of rusty guns. We might see quite a few crashes. Hopefully not, but yeah, that always seems to happen the first race, a long layoff. And then, yeah, there's going to be a lot of positions. Stella did last time, but he lost points in the first run. So, yeah, the guys are going to be aggressive. So I'm looking forward to seeing wild cards like yourself and a lot of the other guys that I wouldn't have expected to see on a national grid this year that have joined the ranks and that are going to come out racing. So I think got all the makings right field for some good racing. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for the weekend. I honestly can't wait.
Yeah, honestly, I think the racing's going to be good. Like I heard you guys say earlier, there's a few guys coming in, like obviously myself coming in, hopefully trying to go to the top. And then you got some guys coming in that are more mid-pack riders, but still competitive mid-pack riders, you know what I mean? So I think from honestly the first guy to the last guy, there's going to be a battle all around track, and it's going to be a full race-long battle just because everyone needs to go for it, and everyone needs every single point they can get. So I think this weekend's going to be a great weekend in terms of racing, and in terms of like watching, in terms of like spectators and stuff like that. It's going to be quite exciting and quite fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no spectators, so they need to get used to racing with no people on. I mean, does that affect you? Just before we let you go, does that affect you mentally, knowing that you guys are racing on empty stands, or is it just, because it does change the dynamic? I mean, that first outlet, people getting you psyched up and you warmed up for that start. I mean, surely it has some sort of kind of effect. How does it affect you?
For me personally, it does. I'm a very lively person. I like to feed off other people's energy, and like a lot of people know, just before a race, I usually walk around, talk to people, just get myself into a zone. Whereas I know a lot of guys put headphones on and they sit in a corner and don't talk to anyone. But for me personally, I like to see people. I like to see people laughing. I like to see people enjoying it. And yeah, for me, it's all about the show and having fun at the same time I'm racing. You know what I mean? So it's, for me, it does affect me, but I think at this stage we have to do what we can just to get out on track, and hopefully it comes back soon.
Yeah,
See,
100%.
this is like how there's little dynamics that even come into things like that with spectators and no spectators. So I mean, even there, guys will find small advantages and disadvantages. So very interesting to hear your point on that, Mike. It's very very expected, but I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, and for me, it's never really bothered me too much. But I mean, I've never really raced at the highest level in South Africa, so yeah, I can see where you're coming from. For me, in closing, I went to ask this for a long time. We photos, and I've seen. I mean, the first photo I took notice of was you leaning off your bike, picking up a can of Red Star on the tarmac. Where did this one hand, one leg celebration come from? Trademark it. It's definitely your thing. I don't see you doing it. Where did it start? Where does it come from, or why do you do it?
Well, to be honest, when we first started riding 125s, it's every now and again I used to get my elbow down here and there, and then it just became natural. And then I've always been quite a small guy when I was growing up, so when I jumped onto like the 600 and stuff, I needed to use my body weight to get the bike to turn and do what I needed to, instead of using my actual strength, because I was just too small. And it just became second nature for me. So I could get my elbow down, I could lift my legs up, because I had to do it to go fast. Otherwise, I couldn't get the bike to do what I wanted. So eventually, like on slow down laps and stuff like that, just for photos, everyone tries to do something cool. And the one day I decided, well, let's see if I can take my hand off. And I managed to get it right, and I just started working on it more and more. And then it just, at this stage, I feel so comfortable on the bike that I can let my hands go. And like, to be honest with you, one of the jokes me and my dad had when I was growing up is he used to pass me down Kalami's back straight when I was still on the 125 and he was in the thousands. And he used to go into sunsets and chew me, like wave to me to tell me to come faster. And one day I said, okay, I'll do it, but I'll do it properly. And I passed him, I think it was about 4 years ago, around the outside of Mineshaft with my elbow down, telling him, come.
It's ridiculous.
Ever since then, it's just become my second nature, should I say. And it's just, it looks good in photos. And luckily, the guys from Beam Productions are always there to catch him. So I always usually wave or find a photographer or something and just try to do something different.
Awesome
We
stuff.
love it. Keep up the good work, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, Mike, I think from all of us at Hanging Cable and Race Day, all the best for this weekend. We can't wait to see you on the SASBK grid. Go give it horns.
Thank you very much, guys, and thanks for the opportunity. Hopefully it is a good weekend and we bring back some medals.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Look, like you say, whoever's going to take the pole this weekend is going to deserve it, because they're going to fight for that. I think that top 5 is going to be quite a scrimmage, but
yeah, I definitely think that the front 2 rows at least are going to be quite hectic. So I think it's going to be all about qualifying and getting away from the line this weekend.
Awesome stuff. Awesome. Much for joining us on Racer.tv on Hanging Cable with myself and Cliff. From my side, thank you so much. Have a good race weekend, man.
Thank you very much.
Cliffy, I mean,
Crazy.
you can keep on going on and going on. Seeing him coming back is amazing. There's quite a big field in there for the SASBK guys, but they're not the only guys racing from a superbike perspective this weekend. The ZX10 Masters are back at it, and I think the same applies. You know, there's 21 or 20 odd on that grid. Bar one Landison on there, I saw her name. there's a big dog fight coming this weekend.
Yeah,
also,
is there?
the guys they haven't been on track for a long time. A lot of these guys are very busy and have busy during COVID, just doing working very hard. There's not been a lot of track testing. Cliff, what's your thoughts on the ZX10 guys, and who's your 5?
So, yeah, I mean, 100%. It's been a while. We saw the Agliotti brothers at the track a couple of weeks back. But, you know, I must big ups to him from Bernard. Last round race, he had that issue with his bike, and he just kept articulated and he scored a point. And I looked at the points table not too long ago, and it's a difference of 7. So they're already in the front. The guys are going to go hammer and tongs at it because there's champion on the line here, and I'm hoping that the Agliotti brothers take the away races if those do miss. And then, yeah, right down the mid, all tries a panic and apathy. We've got Johan Leroux or Jeff there, and then further down we've got the guys like Nigel Brunt, Landy Sinden, all the guys that come out and they race hard. You can see the passion when the guys are out racing, whatever. Such a bikes on the grid. Well done to the ZX10 guys. Also, the community really came together from what I saw in the week and that. And the guys are like, you know what? Let's just go out and go racing again. It's testament to the camaraderie in the ZX10 Cup Club. So well done to them. And in these tough times that they've got 20 that are coming out to race, and Jeff Singh is even coming up in. So everyone's coming out to race. It has been a long time, but everyone's hungry. So it's so awesome to see. So I'm looking forward. And then again, Bridgestone or SASBK, they've opened it up to guys and said numbers on the track. Let's just have a good, because who knows what will happen in the coming months. So yeah, excited to see. There's a lot of guys from different chips that have come. You said Luca Bertolini is one of them. Damien Piroficati is on a Ducati. So yeah, it's really exciting stuff. So I'm really looking forward to the weekend. And I mean, old Mr. Dave Peterson's been putting out some preview videos, and that gets more excited. I'm really looking forward to the weekend. If I have to look at it, I'm gonna go 10 or 5 for 10 Cup Day. We'll do one, and Jordan Agliotti will do the other. So it's going to be a swap around there. We'll have Keith in the top 5, Johan Leroux, so dark horse for me. And then don't forget John T. Collard and Gareth Besaidnout. Those guys, I reckon, will be up for the top 5, definitely. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I think Graham's definitely going to try and defend his championship. He's had a great start to the season. Like you said, he had that issue at round 2. With the gear or the clutch going all a bit cronky, but he managed to finish, I think, in 3rd or 4th. I think he managed to skate 4th that day in the second race. So he's very much still in the lead. I think he's definitely in the lead of the championship at this point. The Agliotti brothers, like you said, good to have them on the grid. But just to reiterate to the fans at home, when Cliffy says the camaraderie, don't get him wrong. These guys fight like dogs when they get onto track. Those Kawasaki's are some beasts to control on their own, and putting 20 odd bikes of them next to each other on the grid, the friendships stop when that flag goes down. When those lights go off, it's race time, and they won't have any hold bars back. Guys, just before we get to an international interview that Cliffy has organized for us this week, I just wanted to send a shout out to all the racers and the teams that have made the effort to come out and take part of this weekend's racing. We'll support you all the way. The fans are very excited, even though there's no spectators allowed at Zwartkops this weekend. So please don't show up there just thinking you can enter the premises. They have to stick with very strict COVID-19 rules and regulations to make it possible for us to get the guys back on track. So we'll be seeing you from a distance, and I'm sure we'll get some great content post-race, and it's going to be amazing. But Cliff, I mean, any other thoughts on the two? I mean, it's lucky Heinz going to be in there on the SAB grid also. Who else am I missing? Because there's just so many. It's like a competitive race this weekend.
So, I mean, what Valo you mentioned earlier, he was going great guns on his Yamaha. And then September makes the step across from ZX10 car onto the SASBK grid. So that's quite an exciting step across. So I'm going to be very curious to see how it goes. Look, with him and the and the team had such a professional setup. I'm pretty sure they're going to give them the best to get the job done. And then, was Nassif trying to get Lance Marie on the grill? I mean, I don't know if that's confirmed yet. That also happens because he was also going quickly on his ZX10. So, there's so many guys that are coming out, like I said, from different walks of life and different race series. It's going to be so cool to see everyone just mix it up. Guys haven't raced together before, which changes the dynamic a little bit as well. So it's going to be rough out on track. I'm actually glad I'm not in the mix there because I think I might go home with my tail between my legs.
Yeah, no, look, I can't second that enough. I mean, that becomes a bit of uncharted waters there for me, and it will take a few years to build courage. I'm actually quite happy, like you say, also to not be in that ZX10 pack for this weekend. I just think it needs a pair and a whole bunch of, I mean, the people are just going to go for it all out. An interesting thing you mentioned now, which I did forget, was Sifiso's transformation or change over from the ZX Masters into the SASBK. And I asked him yesterday, is he doing the Masters or is he in open challenge mode with the rest of the field? He's old enough to be in the Masters class where Marius Kukumu was leading. But now, I don't know, and I'm challenging you because we all want to see you go fast. Is the ZX10 now gone through a transformation because of the standard bike they use in the ZX10 Cup, and he's going to SASBK now? I mean, he's not even doing Bridgestone Superbikes. He's going straight to Premier Class. Do you think there's a lot of work that's been done on that motorcycle now? And do you think we'll see him on the same motorbike?
So I mean, we can only assume at this point in time, but I'm pretty sure there'll be a few changes up on the U, like we chose the Dean from Rapid Bike, and I mean they look after that team. I'm pretty sure there might have been a few things looked at there, and then I don't think it'll be long until we see a bit of a change in suspension, that sort of thing. But I think baby steps. Obviously, you don't want to make too many changes. The thing is, the class has changed with a few faster guys. It's maybe a little bit more cutthroat to nationals. So obviously, go with what you're comfortable with. But I think gradually we're going to see changes in that bike, and I'm pretty sure by or early next season, if he doesn't change machinery, there'll be some big changes made to that bike. But I mean, it all depends on what you're comfortable to run. I mean, if he's feeling confident and he's feeling comfortable on that bike as is, and I mean, he was improving every time we went out, and then you're confident, then there's not really any need to make too many changes if you believe that you can run the 6 bracket all day long. I think it'd probably be a gradual step. Also, who knows what the budget looks like for the rest of the season now with racing and with what COVID's done to everything. I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing a little bit of home research because that's the type of guy he is, and they'll be making gradual changes. So I'm curious, but I'll wait and see, and we'll maybe try and catch him for the season and find out what he's been up to.
Yeah, exciting stuff, guys. Well done to the guys from SASBK and the Extreme Festival and ZX10 to get all of these races on track. We are super excited. We can't for you. We're happy. We are excited. It's going to be an amazing Friday and Saturday at Zwartkops. 2 weeks from now, Short Circuit Superbike Magazine. I'm doing a race 450. And then I heard today, I spoke to the guys from Zontas, John Johnston. The Zontas 310 is going to make its way to hopefully partake into the Short Circuit Series for the remainder of the year. Everyone's still very much busy planning their schedules and calendars, so I think we need to be very patient. All of the organizers across the board and the racetrack, everyone's trying to do with what they have been dealt. So let's support them with everything we have. Stay safe, and thanks for watching, Cliffy. So much. Oh, I've been told we're not saying goodbye yet. It's my fault. So there's a hidden surprise interview, Cliff. Before my mouth off, maybe I should say goodbye and let you deal with that. But we do have an interview on our deck there. Cliff, do you want to enter?
Yeah. I think let's say goodbye and let's play out with that interview. But we've been watching Motor and the guys so well. Matthew Scholz, Cam Peterson, Sam Lockhoff and Dominic well. But let's not forget about the guys that have been doing a bit of racing in the UK. It's also been a bit tough there, but I've been harassing Brent Harry for weeks now, and he gave in and said, I'll give you a rundown because he raced this last weekend. And their plans have changed a little bit because they were in the super stock and then things with budget and everything. But they're still going out and racing and racing on like a sort of a club level, but he'll tell you the rest. But he raced this last weekend and he did really well for not racing for a while. I don't think it'll be long. He'll be step in the UK. So his play out was very lucky to catch up with him.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks again for everything. Cliffy, Fritz and Henk, our guys, are professionals from Raceday.tv. We appreciate it much. For all of our sponsors, Ink Monkey, Melville Health Kitchen, Show Me South Africa, and Catch Me Good Racing. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon and we'll report back on all the racing action down this weekend.
Morning, Raceday TV. It's Brent Harron here from all the way over in sunny England. I'm just going to fill you guys in on our past weekend's activities. We went and did a no limit race, which is one of the main club championships here in England. You get Thunder Sport and No Limits. The main feeders into the British Superbike Series. We were doing a no limit race at Snedderton in Norwich. Just down on the southeast coast of England. First time out for us on the Optimum Bike / Everquip Racing Suzuki GSX 1000, and yeah, went really positively. We ended up having a really good Friday practice, solid qualifying. I think put in a time that all of us were surprised with and no one really expected. Gave us a bit of confidence going into the races, and unfortunately, with me having not raced a motorbike in nearly a year, I think the nerves got the better of me in the racing, in the first race specifically, and I made a few mistakes. Still finished the race, ended up in 6th place. Race 2 got another 6th place, and race 3 we walked away with the 5th. All of this is being done as testing for us, building up towards next year when we will be competing in the British Superstock 1000 Championship, which runs under the British Superbike Championship. Obviously, those plans are going to be carried out this year, but coronavirus unfortunately affected that a bit, as I think it's affected everyone around the world. So hope you guys are all keeping safe. And yeah, we are out next at Alton Park, another no limit race, another track for me to learn on the 1000, and I'm really looking forward to it. Once again, I've got to send a massive shout out to my sponsors, to Optimum Bikes and to Everquip Racing. They've been kind enough to put in their best efforts towards getting us out on the track this year and testing and throwing in laps, and obviously building towards next year, which is just they've been outstanding, and hopefully all the testing that we are putting in will stand us in a really good stead for next year. We can hit the ground running and get some really good results, hopefully. But anyways, I hope you're all well back home in South Africa, and hopefully chat to you soon. Thanks. Cheers.